Hello friends, in this video tutorial I'm going to explain to you how to create architectural blocks. Now these are not dynamic architectural blocks, these are actual architectural blocks. Blocks such as windows, plane and elevation, door, plane and elevation, how to set up a kitchen plan, dining table, and where to actually download some of the blocks that we use most of the time in architecture. Now what you're seeing here is a chart of louver carrier heights. There are two types of louver blade widths available. One is the 4-inch or 102 millimeter, and the other one is a 6-inch 152 millimeter louver blades. Now, as you can see, for a 102 millimeter louver system, a 3-blade louver carrier will have a height of 292 millimeters. And similarly, for a 3-blade 152 mm louver carriers, the 3-blade height will be different. It will be 444 millimeters and 17.5 inches for those who like to use metric. You can download this entire booklet from the link that I have posted in the video below. So let's begin by creating a plan for a window. I'll do one, you guys, and I'll explain, and you guys can do the rest. So first what we need to do is create a rectangle. My apologies. Firstly, what we will need to do is we'll need to create the layers for it. And we will go to layers property, we'll click on new layer, and we'll name this to window. Leave it at color white because that does not really matter. We will change the colors once we get the blocks. Make this layer active, your current layer. Collapse the window, then type REC for rectangle and press enter. Click a point. In this case, this is the outline of the window. This rectangle will be the outline of the window. So the thickness will be equivalent to a wall and the length will be equivalent to whatever you wish. So in this case, I'm using 150 mm concrete block wall. So I'll type 150. Then I'll type the tab button and I'll enter 600 mm. Press enter. Now that you can see that it has created the rectangle that I had just said, 150 by 600 mm. You can rotate this and make it straight. Now we will create two construction lines by typing XL for construction lines or X lines, one horizontal and one vertical. Now what we need to do is create two rectangles. So we type REC for rectangles. And we will be using a finished window frame size of 145 mm by 45 mm. Press enter. Then what you can do is rotate this. Bring this one from there and place it over here in the middle. Now, as I was saying, this is the outline of the wall and this is the actual window frame. So what we can do is leave this one as it is, and we can mirror that rectangle from the center to the other side. And now for keeping both together. Now what we can do is create another rectangle, and we will move this into the center. And we will use a 6 mm thick louver blade, obscured louver blade, because this window is for a toilet and a bathroom. So what we'll do is offset at a distance of 3 millimeters. Offset one up and the other one down. Then we type REC for rectangle and we put it there. Oops, my apologies. REC for rectangle, click one point and the other point in the diagonal direction of it. Now what we can do is we can just delete these lines, and as you can see that you have something that looks like a window. Now this looks really untidy. So what we can do is we can hatch it. Let's say I'll be using a mahogany timber for my window frames. So what we can do is type hatch, H for hatch, then click on solid, then just select from this color and we'll use 242, 103 and 34. Put one there, escape. Then type CO for copy, select the edge that you just did from the base point and paste it onto the other side. Now as you can see that it has covered the line, so what we can do is type dr for draw order and just send it back. Now here what we'll need to do is we'll need to indicate that this is a glass. So what we'll do is type H for H. We'll select a solid H and we'll look for this color here, cyan. Select it and fill it inside here and press enter. Now if the H is above the line and you're not being able to see the outline of it, what you can do is select the H, type dr for draw order and send it back. I've shown how to use these commands in another video, AutoCAD daily used basic commands. So now that you have created your window, this is a 600 mm wide window. This is for toilet and bathroom. So what you can do is type B for block and press enter. Then we will change this name to a window 3. For demonstration purposes, I have shown you the small one first, and then I'll show you how to create the other ones. Check all these, specify on screen behavior to be annotative, then click OK, and select a base point of this corner, then select the entire object and press enter. Now it has created your block of W3. Now the next thing that we do not have to repeat everything here. What we can do is just copy this, bring it here, explode, EXPLODE, explode the objects, and then what we can do is simply select these two, type CO for copy, and move this one outside once, extend this rectangle accordingly, and copy this, CO for copy, use a base point and paste it there, and there you go. Now why I have chosen a 600 width? Because a standard louver blade comes in 600 mm wide in a hardware shop. If you wish to have it longer, you can do that, but you'll need to get it cut from another glass supplier. So this is our 1200 mm window opening, which has two 500 mm long blades in it. What you can do is select this, type B for block and press enter, and just check the behavior to be annotative, and you can put this as W2. Click OK. It will ask you for a base point, so I'll just specify it in that corner there. Select the entire object, press enter. Now similarly, if you wish to create a 3x4, 5 or 16, whichever one suits your probable deniability, you can simply copy it, explode the blocks, and just repeat the processes that I have showed you here earlier. In this case, you can select both and just copy it from a base point and put it there. Similarly, you can click on this rectangle, then click on the middle hot grip and just bring it over there and put it there. There you go. That's your 3x window. And type B for block and press enter. Specify on screen, and we can call this a window 1 or W1. Then you can select your base point, you can select your object and press enter. So now you have 3 perfectly working windows. Now what we can do is create an elevation. So we type XL for X line and place one there, copy the same X line to another point, which is over there. My apologies for that. Let me just move it into place. Move it there. You can rotate this line, RO for rotate, and then you can just put it like that. Now this is the tricky part. You need to know what the thickness of your frame is. So in this case, I'm using a 145 mm by 45 mm mahogany timber. So what I'll do is type O for offset and press enter. Then I'll enter a thickness of 45 mm and press enter. And I'll do the same for all sides. And ensure that if you are using referencing from here, it all matches over here. Now, how to actually get the louver carrier sizes, what we can do is simply refer back to our chart. We'll be using a 152 mm or 6-inch louver system, and we will look up where our 3-blade louver carriers are. So as we can see, TA6, this means total 6-inch, and this is our 3-blade system. We will need to do an offset of 444 millimeters. So type O for offset, then enter your distance of 444 millimeters, press enter. Offset this line above, then type offset again, and type distance, put a distance of 45 mm and offset it above. Now type REC for rectangle, draw your rectangle, then offset to 45 mm, and there you go. Now you have actually created your rough outline of a window. Let me show you. And that's all you needed to do. In order to divide these, what you can do is type PL for polyline, put it in the middle, bring it down, type this and type DIV for divide and press enter. Select this and enter this number of 3. We have to divide it into 3 segments and press enter. Now as you can see that these are too big, and if you wish to make these small, type DDP type, press enter, select whichever one you like and turn the point size down. I'll put it to 5 in this case, and you can see now that it is small. So what we can do is type REC for rectangle and create a glass louver blade. And you can delete this polyline. Now we can move this one outside. We'll just move it with a distance. I'll move it out 1200 millimeters. You can do anything else. Now we will turn this rectangle into a glass. So we type, firstly what we'll need to do is type PL for polyline. Then we create a line that's 90 mm wide. And then we put this up there. There you go. Then what you can do is shorten that line and just leave it there. Now this will show that your window louver blade is actually open. It will make your drawing look much neater. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Type H for H, press enter, then enter your solid glass color, then type H for H again, and then type a lighter gray color and put it there. What you can do is select both the H's and just send them back using a draw order command. Now what you can do is select this, type G for group, press enter, and it will turn that into a group, easier to handle that way. Copy it from there and move it back to the base point. Now what we can do is copy this and move it up, copy it up 3 times. The next thing that we can do is type H for H and press enter. Then we can choose our color, or you can just put it in a standard gray, number 8 gray, and hatch that line. Now as you can see, this actually looks like the elevation of a window. And you can repeat the similar process for all of these. So I'll do one, you guys can repeat the similar processes for all of these following this chart. So since this is a 2x8 blade window system, and you're using a 152 mm wide glass system, what you can do is go to TA6, look for 8 blade, 144, and offset accordingly as I have showed you here. So now what we will do is we'll create a block of this window, type B for block and enter. Then we'll say a W3 or window number 3 elevation. Behavior not to be annotative as it is, and click on OK. Then you just specify a base point. I'll just put in the center here and select your objects, press enter. Now you've created a plan of a window and an elevation. Now let me show you how to create a door. So you need to know what timber you will be using for a door. And first we'll do the plan of it and then we'll click on make the elevation. So I'll just do one and you guys can follow these steps and create the other ones. So type REC for rectangle. Now a door jamb, remember there is a big difference between rough timber and rest timber. In Fiji, 100 by 50 translates to 90 mm thick by 45 mm 90 mm wide by 45 mm thick dressed. So do not put 100 by 50 here. Use the dress distance of 90 by 45 and press enter. You can rotate this. What we can type is, we'll need to put a DOA stopper here, so we can put REC for rectangle, and we'll use a FIN, that's finished 12 mm tab 45 mm thick 45 mm wide DOA stopper. If this is too wide for you, you can also make it 35, but I'll just put 45 for now. Now what we can do is type your X line, Excel for X line, and click on OK. So DOA 1 of my DOA 1 or D1 will have an opening of 900 millimeters. This is an exit and entry DOA. So what we can do is type O for enter, that's O for offset, then press enter. Then enter a distance of 900 mm, press enter, offset it there. Now we will create, now we'll just now we'll just create another construction line by typing Excel. What we can do is mirror this one to the other side. So we'll type MI for mirror. Well, let's best we complete it. Now we'll also be using mahogany for this, but we'll be using a 90 by 45 mm thick timber frame. Type H for H. Select your mahogany color and enter one there, enter one there. If the H's cover the outline, just click on the H, type DR for draw order and send it back. That's all you'll need to do. Now what we will do is, we will mirror this to the other side. So we type MI for mirror, and we need to mirror it here. So we'll need to do a mirror to point. So that's simple. M to P for mirror to point. One there, and there you go. You do not need to waste your time on this. Now to create the DOA leaf, simply select this polyline, copy it up, copy this polyline up, paste it there, and just pull this one outwards. And there you go. You have an elevation of a closed DOA. Now what we can do is rotate this, RO for rotate, and make it 90 degrees. Pardon me, the DOA is opening into the window. So we'll move that there now. What you can do is copy, you can create a hedge there. The DOA will also be made from solid mahogany. It will be a Georgian paneled DOA, so it will be made from mahogany. So now that you can see that the DOA is open, what you can do next is type C for circle and press enter, and it'll ask you for a radius. So take this endpoint and take that endpoint. Select this circle, select this trim line, type TR for trim, and trim off all the other excess lines. Now if you have not selected a line, it will not trim against it. So type TR for trim, and you can similarly do that. Now as you can see that I made a mistake. I should have been trimming upwards and I'm trimming down. So what I can do, just mirror this into place, enter, and move it to the base point, which is over here. You don't have to be perfect with this. This is very small. It will not even show up properly while you are drawing. Now what you can do is click on this, go here, click on magenta. Then you can select this, click on this, click on other. Then you can load your lines, and you can use dashed and click on OK. Click on dashed. If this does not show up, you don't need to worry. What you can do is select your line, click over here, click on line type scale, and enter scale of 5, and now it's showing. So we did not create a layer for this, so let me create a layer. Create a new layer, and we'll name it as DOA. Leave the color to white. Remember, consistency is key. So if you have made all the first letters of these names capital, then it should be accordingly done that way. We'll set this to current and close, collapse the window, select this and put it in the DOA layer that we have just created, like so. Now what we will need to do is we'll need to block this. So we'll select it all, or we don't even have to. Type B for block and press enter. Then type a D1. Should not be annotative. Click on OK. Then it's asking you to select the object, and you select the object, press enter, and it has created a block for you. Now this is not right. So what we'll do is we'll explode this and reblock it again. Type B for block, then press enter. Then you will need to specify everything on screen, and it should not be annotative. We'll type a D1 for DOA, then press OK. And it's asking you to specify an insertion point. I'll put it there. And it's asking you to select an object. I'll select that object. And there you go. Now at times when you create a block, what happens is the line actually, the outline actually goes under the H. So what you can do, you don't have to do the draw all the time. You can do RE for regenerate and press enter. And at times this circular line will turn into a square. So you can again type RE for regenerate and press enter. Now that you have created the DOA plane, let me show you how to create the DOA elevation. Type XL for construction line or X line. Then we'll do an offset of 900 millimeters. And the height of any DOA should be 2.1 millimeters for the opening. So we type O for offset, press enter, 2100 millimeters, and then click on OK. Click on enter, then do an offset. Then type PL for polyline and create an outline like so. You can delete those referencing lines now. And what we can do is type PL for polyline, click it on that base point. Our frame thickness is 90 by 45, so we'll enter 45 mm. Press enter. Then we just copy this. You don't have to draw a line all the time. There you go. Now what we do is offset the outline, and we type O for offset and enter a distance of 45 mm. And there you go. That's your DOA frame. Now if you wish to create a DOA in this, what you can do is type REC for rectangle and just place one DOA there. Then as you can see that these lines are actually separate. So what you can do is use a 0 radius fillet on them. F space R space enter radius of 0, enter, and just fillet all these lines. A 0 radius fillet will close off all the lines, so you do not have leaks and you won't have problem with hatches. Now since that's a mahogany door frame, we'll type H for H, and then we'll just hatch it accordingly. There you go. Now to create a DOA, just do a REC for rectangle and just place them accordingly. The H of the DOA to be in gray, or you can put any color. I'll just use a simple gray. That indicates a spray paint finish. And then what we can do is type a polyline and make our DOA opening symbol. You can put this to magenta, and you can you can put it that in a center line. Now as you can see, it's not showing up, so type RE for regen, then press enter, and there you go. Select your line, click here, line type scale, enter a scale of 5. And now you can see that your line is showing up. So that's your DOA. You can also add architectural hardware to this, such as hinges, an outline of DOA closer over here, a lock. But for this example, we won't do that, because I'll show you how to do this when we are doing a DOA schedule. These are just to make your work easier while you're drafting, so you don't have to draw. You already have this ready, and then you can just start with the floor plan. So just select this and type B for block and enter. does not have to be annotative. We'll say a D1 elevation. DOA 1 elevation, and then click on OK. Specify its base point. I usually like to put it in the corner and just select the object and press enter. And there you go. That is your DOA plane. This is your window. Now the next thing that we can do is draw a kitchen plane. So kitchen plane is very simple. What I like to do is type PL for polyline, and the standard sizes that I use for a kitchen is 2.4 meters long by 2.4 meters long. Press enter. Then the carcass depth, or I mean the top width, will be 550 mm. So we'll type 550. Press enter. Click on OK. Then we can just close the polylines accordingly. You can also join these lines, J for join, and you'll have one solid shape. Type H for H. You can use color number 9 gray or number 8 in this case, and there you go. You don't have to create a block of this. You can just select it accordingly, like so, and type G for group, press enter, and that's your group. So you can orient this, or you can create another outline on it. 300 mm wide. And you can call that your overhead outline of overhead cabinets. Now you can be creative. You can add doors here. You can say add small rectangles which will indicate hinges and handles, but I won't be doing that. Now the next thing that we can do is insert our dining block and other things. I mean dining table and other blocks. So firstly we need to click on Google, then open your search tab and type AutoCAD blocks. Free download or free, and what you can do is select whichever site you like and download. There are millions of CAD blocks around here. Some are paid, some are free, so you can choose whichever one. You got some sofas here, you got some pedestals and washroom parts here, you got cars, you got trees, you have so many things here. You even have doors here, steps. These are done to make your life easier, so you don't have to constantly draw everything. What you can do is download, and then you can just insert. You can just copy Control plus Shift plus C, then Control plus Control V into this drawing. And that's all for this video. Now that you have successfully created the blocks, you have followed all the steps that I have said, and you have done everything. You should not be having any problems while drafting. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually create a proper floor plan with all text, dynamic blocks, and how to actually publish and plot the drawings. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or queries regarding my videos, please comment your queries and I will be more than happy to answer it. Or you can send me an email. I'll put my email in the link below. And that's all for this video. Goodbye.